Hello again from Mission Alive. I'm Father Roger. I'm from the MSC Mission Office, and I'm happy to be able to bring you these little bulletins. Having spent about 40 years in Papua New Guinea, I often think back to many of the incidents that happen there and stories, and I'll have to be careful if I get started. I'll keep telling stories. One comes to me from when I was a very young man and my first posting out to a bush parish, which meant walking long distances over the hills, swimming the rivers and all that sort of romantic stuff that we see as mission. This particular occasion, I decided to go up to one of the very top outstations, which was quite a few hours walk. And this older man said he would go with me and show me the way and accompany me. And he was a funny guy. He kept telling me stories as we walked along because I was a young missionary and he was keen to look after me. And at one stage along the track, he said, "Father, up here, the people are working silly business." And I was puzzled as to what was the silly business. So I tried to ask him what was silly or not right or a bit stupid about what they were doing. And I could not get any explanation of what silly business was. So we walked on for another couple of hours and up over the hill and down the other side, and we're coming down to a river, and he pointed to a garden across the river and said, "Father, see there? That's silly gardening." So I looked and I thought, well, I don't know what a garden should look like in Papua New Guinea, but I looked closely, and as I got closer, I saw what he was talking about. It was a chili garden. The government had introduced chili as a cash crop, and it was a chili garden, and he was pronouncing it as a silly garden. Now, I found out later he was a very funny man. He could tell a lot of jokes, but he was serious about the silly garden. Now, that brings me to the point that some people in their languages don't have certain sounds. So when they speak English, it comes out, you might say, sounding a bit silly. And this is a cultural factor. There's many other stories I could tell about the sounds in languages that people said things differently to what we say. And that's part of the culture. And one of the things I learned over the years in Papua New Guinea, the culture was one of the most difficult things to live with, living in a different culture. All kinds of things are different. And things are different, can be difficult, hard to understand, but also very enlightening in getting to know human nature and how many different ways people live and express their humanity. I want to refer now to the reading from the Acts of the Apostles yesterday, where St. Paul says to the people, when the people wanted to make he and Barnabas into gods, they went into the crowd and pleaded with the people. And they said what they wanted to do was to help them turn away from these empty idols to the living God who made heaven and earth and the seas and all that these hold. To the living God. I could ask you, what do you believe to be the living God? Who is God for you? And we know that the different religions of the world have a different understanding of God and a different belief about God. The Jews called God Yahweh. For us Christians, it is the Trinitarian God, Father, Son, and Spirit. For the Muslims, it is Allah. And then you have from the Buddha and the Buddhists and all that means, Hindus and Nirvana, and so on. it brings to my mind the absolute wonder of God. God is so incredibly wondrous and incredibly mysterious that out of the whole human race, no one religion can understand God or grasp God. So we can say to ourselves then, what are my idols? Many things in our life can take a lot of our time and energy and need to. School, our work, our career, getting enough money for the family, caring for people, relationships, all necessary and all take a lot of our time. They can become our idols. We have to keep bringing ourselves back to the living God who made everything. There's something to think about in our lives, especially at this time when we're under difficulties, when we may be able to refine what is the true basis of our life. What is it that we really believe in? What is really important to us and drives us as a human person? And in that, our mission is alive. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. And we'll be back again